Welcome back, everybody, to another video on the channel today. Today I wanted to actually not go over Aiden a bit more because I know she just came out and I've seen some gameplay with her. I want to save that for a different time, but today I want to kind of go over some more GAC things. This might be a bit delayed in terms of news and me covering it, but I still wanted to go and cover it nonetheless. I also want to do a video going over the top 10 players who placed in the top 10 spots in GAC and going over their history and kind of getting a feel for what the top end players are using. I'll do that in a different video. Also, if you guys at this point in time, if you have any different ideas for videos you would like me to go and do and cover, let me know too. But for today, let's go and cover some of these different changes and how they affect directly different people. I would say me for sure, and a lot of different top end Kyber Division 1 players, or if that's even how you call them these days, because I know the division changes happen, right? But anyways, this first thing, potential changes to GL Kylo and Lord Vader interaction. So this is one thing. The bigger thing in my I don't know if it's a bigger one. I know between this and the Qui-Gon Jinn nerf, this is something that can be a bit of an issue, especially in GAC. This one, they didn't really say they're going to be changing it anytime soon. They just said they wanted to look into it. And there's been a lot of different stuff that's been the same way, where they just look into things and never really actually change it. So this might be one of those things, but if you guys have ever seen, Kylo versus Lord Vader, I actually lost. Cool. Never lose those. But if you ever have seen a GL Kylo with Night Sisters, Daka, and Zombie plus Watt, you can 4v5 pretty much any Lord Vaders. So with that now being gone, it's going to be a bit different in terms of GAC because, you know, I think one of the nicest things about the GAC counters was, you know, you still have GLs countering GLs. You might have some different teams, like, for example, the Trooper team countering some of those Lord Vaders, depending on the comp of the team. And then also we have some of those Padme Cats that can kill potentially some of those JMKs and also Kylo. So like, there's different teams out there that can kill different GLs. But I can go further into that. further into that. But it's just like so many different if, ands, and buts and team comps and all that sort of stuff. That's not a very generalized type of a topic in terms of GAC encounters and different teams you might see. Because that's very high end GAC counters. And this one is one of them. It sounds like they wanted to make it so, you know, you have the Conquest plus one character, making that be like the top dogs. So like Maul with Lord Vader, JMK with Cat. They want that to be like the top end ones. They kind of want you to take a bit of a different approach to killing those. And they don't want us to use the GL Kylo cheese. I guess you can call it cheese if you want, with Watt anymore. So that's kind of going away. That's the first thing. And the second thing is with Qui-Gon Jinn Omicron issue. So beforehand, Qui-Gon Jinn was giving out all of that extra offense to people, whether they had a GL or not. You could actually, I've never fought a team like this in the last season, but there was a team out there with Qui-Gon Jinn and JML on defense that as soon as Qui-Gon died, he would give out all of that extra offense to a Master Luke, and Master Luke could do like 500k crits on a basic. And that's no longer a thing, or they're not going to make it a thing anymore, but that was one thing. And pretty much after that, not saying that whole use has to be with a GL, I would prefer it not to be at least, but at least give it some more offensive viability in GAC. But now that's no longer a thing in terms of GLs. You can't get the full use out of this if there's a GL on either side. And in terms of that, in Omicron especially, this is probably one of the worst Omicrons in the game. Plain simply put, guys. So that's a big kick in the nuts for those guys who actually put a lot of effort in modding and all that sort of stuff in that team. So a couple different things in regards to GAC. Those counters are going to be different now. And I actually want to do a video maybe tomorrow after this video goes live on a Friday. Maybe a Saturday video talking about the GAC teams that have been doing the best, or just maybe giving you guys an idea of what top 10 GAC Grand Arena players, what they set on defense and what they keep for offense. One big team I would say right now, maybe not to give out too much of a spoiler for you guys out there for the future video, but Padme and Cat are very strong right now, guys. In terms of GAC, you can potentially kill a JMK Cat if you play it and have it all modded properly with different relic levels and all that sort of stuff. And also can kill some Kylos and can kill also some more JMKs minus Cat. So it's actually one team I would recommend always keeping for offense, just depending, again, a lot of depending on if and the GAC history of your opponent and what the guy usually sets. It's hard for me to kind of just say use these teams all the time, but it gives you an idea of something to keep for offense, right? Just more teams out there I can definitely go into a bit more. But yeah, Omicrons right now, guys, I'm very, very up in the air about it. I feel like the best ones are just to give them out the TW guys. TW ones are definitely the better ones to go for. I feel like more use out of them. Right now I have Mara J as my only one, Omicron-wise. And I definitely do intend to get Boba Fett for all three of them. If you guys are going to be saving it, I'd definitely be saving for this guy because he'll be nuts. But yeah, this video is mainly just going over some of those different changes. Different changes to GL Kylo. Because right now my whole setup has been, for defenses and offenses for GLs, I keep 3, I set 3. So the ones I set have always been JMK Cat, a Rey team with BB-8 and the Bros, and then a Lord Vader team on defense. And then I keep, for offense, I keep Master Luke, I keep that Kylo team to kill different Lord Vaders, and then I keep the Emperor. Those are my 3 main ones. And then we're going into other teams you could possibly keep for offense to kill some of those different GLs, depending on the comp, right? So if you see a very poor Rey team on defense, one without probably the Bros or JTR or Cat, then you can definitely kill that with a GAS 501st team. So that's one cool thing you can do there. And then also with the Padme Cat teams against Kylos, and then also against some of those Master Lukes, or Master Kenobis rather. So I would just save, in the future, if you guys wanted to, depending on the opponent, you can definitely potentially set 4 different GLs and then keeping some of those different gases and Padme Cats to kill those GLs on offense to almost guarantee you a win. I know that might sound like a little bit crazy for me to say you guarantee yourself a win, but really, truthfully, guys, if you know what your guy sets and you have seen his history and you're like, okay, this is what he sets, he then sets it, and then you have those different counters while you still have those 4 different gels on defense, there's no way the guy can full clear you. It's happened time and time again, and I'll go into this more in my different video, but the top 10 top 10 Grand Arena players right now on the leaderboard have been doing that to some extent. And that's one big crucial part to GAC right now. And it does get mixed up a little bit now in regards to the Kylo as to why I made this video in the first place. GL Kylo changes could be a pretty big thing for those different guys because it puts some pressure on Lord Vader and the counters to a Lord Vader that make him a bit stronger in the future. So if that does happen and they change that so that you can't use the Kylo counter anymore to a Lord Vader, you're looking at either a JMK or a JML counter. And between those two guys, I actually prefer a JMK instead of a JML. But with that being said, you can still cause some big issues between those two teams, the Lukes and the Kenobis, with your Lord Vader if you have Relic 9 offense modded. That is one thing that can cause some big hiccups in those two counters. So if worse comes to worse, guys, they get rid of the Kylo counter and then kind of force you to have to use either a mirror match or a Master Luke or a Master Kenobi counter to a Lord Vader, then if you guys have your own Lord Vader, I would go for either a offense build or CD build. I would prefer an offense build because you get more damage output regardless of crits, right? And you can just make it hell, living hell for those different counters. Whether you're going to be making it so you get a nice hold or making it so they lose massive banners. It's going to be a big team to remod if the changes do go through, in my opinion at least, and also in other opinions I've seen from Discords. Anyways, guys, that's about it for today's video. I just want to kind of go off talking about Kylo, but in retrospect of me talking, I feel like the biggest threat right now in the game is still Lord Vader. Lord Vader is still the biggest threat in my opinion. Yeah, you can say all you want about Rey teams with R2 and Cat, but also, honestly, guys, this is just the one team that has proven to be strong time and time again. And heck, if you even, happen to fight somebody that has a, the Lord Vader team that you can trooper, then I guess maybe you can get away with killing that with the trooper team. But that's very, very, in terms of me playing the last season, I've never really seen that. That's a very niche counter, guys. Very niche. Aiden is now in the game, and she can provide some help there, but not nearly enough. And if you do happen to see in a history that guy sets that, then you're going to be setting your own team that can stop that, right? So it's just a funny team. I don't really believe too much in the troopers versus a Lord Vader counter, in my opinion. Anyways, I'm done here, guys. I just want to go over some of this. Qui-Gon Jinn now is a pretty bad Omicron. Kylo might be getting changed. We'll have to see. If he does, I just kind of mention it. Do all those different things to modding. And then, yeah, if you guys want to stay tuned for more different GAC counters and those different defenses in the next video, stay tuned for that. If you guys have any different ideas for videos as well, let me know down below in the comments, guys. That's it for me today. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I will see you later. Peace out, and have a good one. Bye, guys.